For a movie with this many holes, Everything Everywhere All at Once received rave critical reviews and, according to Rotten Tomatoes, an 86% audience score. They call the movie a hilarious and big-hearted sci-fi action-adventure about an exhausted Chinese-American woman who can't seem to finish her taxes. But what are the obvious failures of this movie? What makes Everything Everywhere All at Once a bad movie? Let's jump into the multiverse of, well, inconsistencies. Warped subtitles. I know that some of the confusion here is that Evelyn and Gong Gong are speaking Cantonese while women enjoy speaking Mandarin, but if you're just watching the English subs that movie provides for this conversation, you have no idea of the nuance. The movie doesn't think the audience can handle their different kinds of not English, and the movie might be right. Interdimensional Bluetooth headsets. I got to thinking about where those special Bluetooth headsets came from that will now operate as universe transporters. Even if the Alphaverse can just check into any random headset, are we suggesting that Wayman just happens to carry around 2 of these in the fanny pack at all times? Oh, and this brain scanning athlete also had to have been pre-installed on her phone for this moment. Why Raymond would be carrying these things in the first place? We don't know. Sure, Evelyn's vomiting could indicate that she's pregnant, but has anyone investigated why this happened at precisely 4:20 in the afternoon? Circles. Circles are going to be super important in this movie. Aren't they like when Joy was watching the laundry earlier, or this pot of noodles, or the umbrella full of donuts, or in this giant circle in the background just to the right of Evelyn's head? That probably doesn't mean, except now I'm looking at every circle like I'm watching the heads-up display Sucker Proxy all over again. Evelyn slides the instructions just far enough to see that the next step is to close her eyes, and she closes her eyes before she sees what she's supposed to do after that janitor's closet. Unless you're suggesting that closeting is an action that janitors are known for taking, in which case would probably have more impact than a single apostrophe. Very busy today, whole time to help you, but she's the one that came here. She literally put her shoes on the wrong feet and broke through the multiverse to be like, nah, I just came here to tell you to piss off. These trophies don't get progressively bigger. Yeah, you have to be careful that you might get stuck in the universe where you'd end up as an employee of your high school's bully that married your girlfriend, but you can communicate through mirrors. I get the sense that the rules of the universe navigation in this movie come down to how cool it looks for the audience, and not some idea of consistent guidelines. Come on guys, aren't you worried more about scientific consistency? You're making a good movie. Priorities, people. What are gross necklaces? I mean, splitting the subtitles looks cool and all, but why would the universe be impacting them at all? This is a type of fourth dimensional wall break. However, disguise is cleverness. If we don't go for cleverness around these parts, don't worry, this is just a glitch of the universe. Glitch is the type of thing that conventionally exists but will never be used again, even though it might have come in handy. So you know about this hilarious misunderstanding about to happen here, but in what universe do you show somebody something by holding up the back of it to their face? I know we're supposed to think Deirdre is a super awful person, but does she seem like the kind of person that puts on a rage face when she makes a walk across a lobby, whilst anyone would be prepared to throw hands if they saw someone walking toward them with this kind of anger? Confusing multiverse. Evelyn may just not have heard it when the movie was going back and forth between universes, but stay low and out of sight. Doesn't even sound like a plausible instruction you'd give her anyway, so if you're keeping tabs on her in this universe, then why are you just waiting until now to connect? Wouldn't it have been better to jump once you realized she had confused which Wayman she was talking to? Wayman goes to another universe to jump inside another Wayman who knows how to fight and downloads it from him, but considering that he's been to so many universes before, why doesn't he already know how to fight? And why is he dragging this out like he's performing a magic show for a group of 3rd graders instead of getting the skills as quickly as possible? When you're dragging this pipe from off-screen when she just uses it to master the 4,655th Theta-verses version of Evelyn, did she drag it over there and then back? Oh lord. Also, I'm still gonna need more information on what a bummer this universe is. These are the easiest people in PCS. Are there universes where we aren't supposed to care about human life? Why is this concept left so unexplained if Jobu's goal is to find Evelyn who can tolerate her loads of crap? Why are all these others sitting around as hostages? All she needs is Evelyn, who at the beginning of the scene was passed out on the floor. All these other screwheads can just leave. I'm pretty sure this is still the same burner universe as before, but now Evelyn is in a baby costume and Jobu is dressed like every middle-aged person I've ever seen, playing slots in Vegas. This will never be explained, and I get cranky when movies don't explain every single thing, no nuances ever. Yeah, William and Evelyn are trying to blend in by acting panicked, and the news showed us that law enforcement knew what they looked like, and something is just off. Your clothes never wear as well. The next day you're here never falls in quite the same way, and I bet she never runs out of things to say, too. You absolutely love her when she smiles. Anyway, hit songs from the turn of the century aside, are you saying that normal signs of aging and changing is proof of some sort of evil creation affecting the entire multiverse? Where the hell did Deirdre jump to? Why is Bagel Deirdre just walking around slowly instead of searching for more quick and efficient ways of getting the job done? You really did go to the Michael Myers School of Hunting Things, study martial arts, those Bluetooth headphones actually make calls as well as verse jumps. Well, the tech conveniences never cease. It's here that I'd like to point out all of the improbable things that Evelyn could have done, like jumping to a different universe. The computer thinks that licking your elbow, which is nearly impossible to do, has less chance of working than stuff that is way easier to do. You have a lot better odds of shaking my hand from your screen right now than doing this. Believe that. Look, I'll buy the jumping into a different universe where you have skilled knowledge can be brought back to your universe's brain. But how do you bring back the strength to throw someone across a room? It's more than a skill. That would require a change in body composition, which makes all of this nonsense. I'm sorry, Evelyn looks like I wasn't paying attention. Evelyn and Alpha Wayman just wandered into that. Tim the Toolman, Taylor's neighbor universe, where we only see the tops of people's faces. Holy shit, wait, this actually works just fine. Everything, everywhere, awesome at once. God damn, everyone is so bloody great in this. Thinking you're in the universe where I would believe for even a second that this Evelyn would consider slitting her own daughter's throat when you're already under her spell. I think it's time for a family discussion. Wait, did she go to a world where she became the greatest impressionist of all time? And why? So my question is 3657, the year. It is April 15th, 3657, or is that the universe? If it's the universe, why would you put it with a day and date? If it's the year, why does everything look so 2020? If you go to a universe to learn, are you required to use it when you come back? Just because you learn how to talk like a bird doesn't mean you actually have to do that, right? Like, I learned how to play the guitar in 7th grade, but you don't see me doing that. Also, the translation from chirp to English here says strong enough to save my job, but it doesn't take into account the nuances of the chirp word for save. The direct translation is fine, but technically, the sentence ensures more accurately translates to maybe I'll be strong enough to cover my joy. A word for the chirp population that indicates not only safety, but active sacrificial protection. Some of the movie's chirp advisors should have taken into consideration and would have brought an extra layer to the themes of the film. Everything Everywhere All at Once won awards for several stand-up performances, especially Michelle Yeoh. But as for the plot holes and incoherence, it's a huge sludge of diarrhea.